So, um, this is going to be a really short presentation because it's very simple. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Jedi-CAN in 2023. Does anyone not know who I am?
You're Z.
Oh, I'm Z. Okay. My name is Rosalyn Johnson. I am a lot of things. Um, I'm with Temple of the Jedi Order primarily. Saying a lot of ums here. I'm with Temple of the Jedi Order. Primarily, I am VP of Clerical Affairs and a master over there, and counselor, and a lot of other things. And so, but before all that, I worked with Allie to form the Jedi Community Action Network. And you all are going to learn a little bit about that in our interview with Atlanta.
Karina.
Karina, there we go. And so that's going to be great. So I won't belabor the point. But essentially, my mission, my goal, the reason why I came to the Jedi community and the reason why I started Jedi-CAN with Allie is that I believe that people, when they decide to do a thing, whether that's Christianity or whether that's Buddhism or whether that's Hinduism or whether that's Islam, whatever you decide to do should be improving the world. So when I left Christianity, when I left organized Christianity, I should say, I left because there wasn't enough action going on. And when I found the Jedi community, I also found that there was a dearth of action, or rather that we could be doing more to assist in our communities. So the Jedi Community Action Network is an ecumenical space. It is a neutral space. It does not have any order training. It can't make you a knight. It can't make you a Super Saiyan. It can't, open your third eye chakra. I mean, we don't do any of that. But we do community action. So we've gone through a lot of different iterations of how this works. In 2014, when we first started, we were donating rice to impoverished areas using an app. And we were collecting trash, and we were doing walks and things like that. And just recently, I want to say 2020, we got into doing Kyber beacons for people, which is similar to like sending healing energy out or starting a circle of healers. So we've been doing that for a good while. But this year, we are moving in a different direction. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, it's going to be very short. And you all can ask any questions you like. So, our big projects for 2023. We want to plant 100 trees. Now, if it's just going to be me and Allie, we're going to have a hard time. So we need everybody, all the orders, every order, every person, every Jedi who cares about our environment. This is our mission for the 2023 New Year. Everybody, that's a community-wide project. We are planting 100 trees. Now, personally, I think we can do more. However, let's start small and dream big. So everybody, Summit, Force Academy, Conclave, Tote Joe, an order you just started yesterday, what is that one called? Order of the Secret Saber, that one. We're all planting 100 trees. That means not Roz planting 100. That means everybody all together, the community, planting 100 trees. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That is our New Year's resolution. Okay, however, we also have monthly projects we want to get the community engaged in. And we've tried to make these as broad as possible. Um, but let me tell you more about the 100 planting 100 trees initiative. You're going to hear about it a little bit in the Jedi Insider. Um, I wanted to make this, or we wanted to make this rather, as accessible to members as possible. So if you can't, get out and get your hands dirty, then you can donate money to a specific place that is planting trees. Or you can use the Forest app, which is a focus app, sort of like Pomodoro or Habitica, or things like that, that can, Forest partners with, I think, an organization that plants trees. And so what you do is you collect virtual coins that you can then use to have them plant a tree for you. I know some of our members have various reasons why they wouldn't be able to get out into the community to do that. And so my priority is to make this as accessible as possible.
Yeah, and I actually, real quick on that last one.
Yeah.
So I got to talking to a Jedi, a local Jedi, the other day, and it turns out that person actually does tree planting every year, and they get about 100 trees every year to put in people's houses.
Mhm.
I did not know this, but you can get like a dwarf tree that does legit apples and put it in someone's house.
That's awesome.
So this may be actually a venture that you could help us with, because we're looking to do that at Heartland Jedi, trying to see if we can't start that as one of our nonprofit things to alleviate the financial burden that that person takes on themselves every year. That was something we talked about. So, maybe there will be a venture inside of the Jedi community too, which will not only double as, giving clean air around in a household, because it can do that, but also giving food at the same time, and that will be part of it. So we're looking forward to possibly bringing that venture out too, and it would be within the Jedi community, and we can hopefully help other organizations come up with that venture themselves by teaching them what he does, what this Jedi does. I was hoping he would be in here, but his computer crashed, and so I'm just kind of hinting at it for you guys to know that is something that, as a result of me and Roz talking about this, like literally within this last week, this is how I found out about it. And Karen's
that is so cool.
Yeah, like I told that person that every time I talk with them, I found out just how much more amazing they are. And they're like, don't say that. And I'm not trying to get a badge. I was like, you don't need one. That's the reason why you're amazing. But anyways, okay. Sorry, Roz, I hijacked that one, but I thought I'd let you know that that's on the horizon. And that's really because of you. I wouldn't have never had that conversation if it wasn't for you bringing this up.
Thank you so much. Such a blessing. So January 2023, we will be focusing on the theme climate change. Obviously, we're going to be starting by planting, working on planting trees or looking at options for planting trees. I really have in my spirit that we can do a lot more than 100, but let's start there. February is known for Valentine's Day. We at Jedi-CAN would like to give you the theme sharing time and to suggest a couple of different options for how you can do that. There is opportunities to go to local retirement homes and spend an hour. There's opportunities to use like 7 cups of tea or other apps if you can't. Again, my priority is accessibility for individuals who can't, do outside community service. February, we'll be focused on sharing time. sharing time, and not just in our communities, but out into the world. Because what are we? Beacons of light. We are beacons of light. We are instruments of peace. We are guardians of the force, and all that stuff. We are, but we need to share that more with our world, and not just the people that may need our assistance with some conflict, but really the people that may not have someone to sit down and play checkers with, or may not have somebody to tell their story to. So February is going to be focused on that. March has a lot of opportunities to walk for wellness, and so if you there's a lot of different things that are explored in March. I'm blanking on what they are, but I have links to uh, uh, what do you call these themes that are explored in March, like mental health and etc. And so if you're interested, or traumatic brain injuries, and so if you're interested, March we will be focused on raising money for different organizations designed to alleviate some of those illnesses and injuries and things. Um, so you don't have to choose our agency. We're also going to use Charity Walk. And Charity Walk has
Charity
a
Miles.
sorry,
Charity
Charity
Miles.
Miles. Thank you so much. Charity Miles has already a Jedi-CAN group. So in March, let's all get on our walking shoes and let's do it. Also, again, with the accessibility, really, Charity Miles has where you can cycle, where you can, you don't have to necessarily go for a walk. You just get your steps in. And there's like, I think, hand cycling or some sort of, you can do any kind of exercise, and you don't have to do a specific amount. Um, but yeah, we want people to get out there and walk for these different agencies and these different causes. Causes is what I was trying to get at. Um, okay, April will be focused on neighborhood cleanup. Um, Places like Adopt a Block. Of course, you don't have to do the whole block. I know volunteermatch.com has frequently a lot of neighborhood cleanups, and they do a lot of good work. Again, it doesn't have to be Jedi-CAN specific, but it would be cool if we set a goal to, pick up, 100 pounds of trash or however much, or, I don't really have a goal in mind for that. I just want our world to be cleaner. And so we're going to focus on neighborhood cleanups in April of 2023. May is Mental Health Month, and we are focused on mental health. I'm going to suggest we want to get certified in psychological first aid or mental health first aid. And there's also another option as well. You can do 7 cups of tea again if you weren't able to do that. But there are a lot of opportunities to sort of share our gifts of diplomacy or gifts of counseling. Well, I don't know if I want to say counseling in that way, but um, not professional counseling, but just sort of like, being able to talk to people.
We have a word. It's called peer support.
There we go, peer support. Yeah, when I use that word, I always think of mental health peer support, and that's because of the function that I do at work. But yes, peer support is good. But mental health first aid, if we can get everybody certified in that, or everybody at least with some knowledge, I think we'll be better off as a community. And by everybody, I just mean, as many as we can get, as many as people who are, in line with the vision of what Jedi-CAN wants to do. Community action doesn't just mean going out and doing something. It also means improving yourself. and being able to provide those tools. So, in a similar line, right? We're talking about emergency preparedness in June. Emergency preparedness, if people are not certified in CPR, if people are not certified in first aid, people are not certified in like assist, we want to be able to assist in that. And I've been thinking about how that can happen. I know that's for some people, this is cost prohibitive. And if it is, please let me know because I will figure out something. If you want to be certified in CPR, in first aid, in assist, or things like that, please let us know. Okay. But yes, that is June's mission, emergency preparedness, getting ready, being able to engage. In July, we are decreasing our carbon footprint. I believe the suggestion for that was maybe to decrease beef consumption, but honestly, the goal is just to decrease your carbon footprint. So whatever that looks like. In the beginning of July, we're going to look at how can we figure out what our footprint is and what actually qualifies as carbon footprints, and create a plan for ourselves to how to decrease that. So that will be July. I do realize I'm going pretty fast. Before I continue, are there any questions? I cannot see the chat.
Right now in the
So-
chat.
Yeah, the chat, they're looking for links and whatnot. So I'm gonna post this in here. This is the link. There we go. So I will say one thing that there was talk of an effort that me and Rosalyn are going to try to do, and that's have a class around these topics, at least one class each month that, you know, discusses it more in depthly. The emergency preparedness one, I told you guys earlier, I'm actually, my degree is in emergency management and homeland security, and that's one really dear to my heart. That's kind of why we focused so heavily in the beginning on like disasters that occurred when Jedi-CAN started. Because at the time I was really into trying to figure out ways that we could get people involved with stuff. And I have my own ideas on things that we could do, but we really need the numbers to trust us in doing those things, as well as the numbers of people to facilitate them. Like I would love, so one year, Pola Pop and I, can you go back to the other one so that, you know, everybody knows we're just talking about this one in particular, that last slide. So with this one, one year, me and Pola Pop talked about putting out our phone number, and we did. We put out our phone number because there was a massive hurricane. It was Irma was the one that went all the way across the U.S. and just devastated the whole region. And we put it out to the community. We're like, hey, if you need someone to talk to, if you need someone to help you figure out where you can go, figure out shelters, figure out whatever's needed in the event that your home is at a loss, we can help you research things. Because when I was taking the curriculum that I was doing, I learned how hard it is for people to find information, because, you know, government websites, and anybody that's in here that's ever been to a government website knows those things are hard to navigate. Furthermore, people forget that there are Facebook pages that are run by local emergency services typically that can give you information. Now, smaller organizations might not have them, but we can find you like the closest one that would be able to assist you. And there's all sorts of rules that happen because FEMA started them. And like here in the US, at least, I know what we do here in the US. I don't know about other countries, but because, you know, it's hard to navigate. It's even harder to navigate their stuff. I understand American navigation systems, not so much Mexican, and I don't read Spanish because, you know, I failed that. Well, I didn't fail that class. I just couldn't do anything harder. So we've got Octavia over here that mentions, I work as an EMT and certified to teach basic first aid and CPR. I'd love to help with this one. Oh, there you go. See?
Well,
We're already making connections. This is great. So these are these are definitely topics that we want to know more about and work on, and we want to facilitate this. And we also want to see, what we hopefully want to see is like with the 100 trees planted and whatnot, or some of these other goals, like where we're going out in the community and working with them. We want to see you guys that are doing these things write an article about it and put it in the Jedi Insider. We want to team up with the Jedi Insider so that we can show people, not that you're awesome, we want them to know that they can be awesome.
Yeah.
So don't look at this as I'm just promoting myself. No, you are promoting what you do, what you're doing, and you're telling people you can do this too. That's one of the reasons why we've had this false humility problem in the community for years. And they're like, I don't want to tell people what I do because they think that they'll think that I'm just trying to promote myself. I've got an ego. No, don't look at it like that. Look at it as, I want to show that they can do it too, because that's how we encourage people, is by showing that we are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm off that. All right. Anybody got questions for Rosalyn? Sorry, I stole this.
That's okay.
Yeah, Rosalyn, when it comes to the walking and the cycling and other physical stuff, how do they track all that?
So there are honestly, it's at, I believe Charity Mile is at your honor. No, it's how does it work, Allie? Is it at your honor?
Okay. So it does track it if you have it on. However, it also tracks, like, okay, I can say this to Ross. I don't know who else has iPhones here. I've been trying to get Jack to get an iPhone for years, but he won't. Sorry. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
So anyway, anyone who's got an iPhone, because I know this, I don't do Android. I don't know if it works the same. It will pair off with your app in there. Yeah, your health app that like counts your steps. It pairs off with that. And it will log it in Charity Miles, even if you don't have your Charity Miles app open. But the app has to be on the phone, and it has to be allowed to track with each other. They have to be able to communicate. So it will track it.
Cool.
But if you were just using, if you were just using the app, what it does is, like, there's a way that you go in, and if I knew how to do like a screen video with it, I'd show you guys, but that's actually beyond my tech understanding of how to do stuff. And maybe one day I'll figure it out. But there's a way to go in and log that, like, you're starting cycling and you leave the app on while you're doing it. Or you're hiking and it'll log your steps, and it has a way to do stuff. I'm sure there's a video somewhere that when we get to March, when we get to March, we can probably find a video for you all to show you how that's supposed to work with the Charity Miles, and even, like, kind of show you how you can find Jedi-CAN on the app by screen dots.
I can help with the technology side of it.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
We are at 25. Let me speed it along. I'm sorry.
You're like, it won't be long, and then you were like, oh, Allie's talking now.
So sorry to pop on back. August, we're going to volunteer at an animal shelter or some kind of animal place. August is a time where we get to think about animals and the way that they impact our lives. So we are going to be doing that.
And we're going to be getting Karina involved in that one.
And something that's so interesting is that, we believe in the inherent worth of all life in the forest. And we're going to share that belief for real by helping out in an animal shelter. So that is August. September, suicide awareness. It's a huge month for suicide awareness, and we're all going to get certified, if I can help it, in assist or something similar to that. So that's going to happen. And again,
so I will say this, even if we don't get certified in assist, I've got one person in here now and another person that was just teaching, and we could, between the three of us, we could probably reproduce a suicide prevention class from the Army. What do you think, Casimir? He's like, did I just
Yeah.
get voluntold something?
I think we could do it. We just have to stay away from the stupid role-playing game they did where no matter what, the situation got worse. Did you ever go through that one? Whatever
I
decision
did not go through that one.
it was terrible. It was a PowerPoint training, and the idea was to encourage you to like resiliency training, but it didn't matter what you did. Something got worse. You deployed. Now your girlfriend's cheating on you. Okay, you got through that. Oh, she drained your bank account. It's cool. You went to talk to Chaplin about your feelings. Don't worry. Now you don't have a weapon anymore. Like it had the exact opposite message. So I know that we want to use the other stuff exactly, but yeah, we could parrot a resiliency training, I'm sure.
I would prefer we get certified only because then we have certificates.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying if we have to do things our way, we're eventually gonna get to a point where it's absorbently over the price of what we can reasonably do. So
let's cross that bridge.
All right.
Okay. So October, we are focused on remembrance and telling our story and hearing the stories of others. I'm not 100% sure of how that's going to work, but again, it's going to probably be like our February, where we sit down and talk to people and just sort of listen. And because knowledge is really important, and if we're not sharing the heroes' journeys of other people, then those heroes' journeys get lost, and they're not famous, but they are famous to us. And so October is the month of remembrance, so we will be doing that. And November, we will focus on homelessness. So volunteering at a soup kitchen, having a sleep out if you can, really getting to the understanding that there are more people affected by homelessness than we may realize, and being able to provide being able to provide a basic sustenance, or being able even to feel and increase our empathy can probably create some good change in the world. And then lastly, December is a typical holiday drive, so Toys for Tots or something like that. So we'll be doing that in December. One thing I want to just emphasize is that we don't have to do it alone. We are not our own self doing things. We are partnering with other organizations, with other resources, like Toys for Tots, or like people that can do CPR for a discounted rate, or things like that. We're not doing it alone, so we don't have to feel alone when we're doing it. But we are putting our hand in the hand of someone who is doing it, someone who is providing that service, and that's just as valid. Last call for questions, please.
I think I had more of a question of curiosity's sake because the first one's going to be coming up is going to be the tree one, right?
Yes.
To bring it back to the most recent one, because I love that there's so much planned for the next year. I'm glad that all of that's going to be happening. But is the next one then the tree one for January?
Yeah, the tree is for January. The tree one is for January.
And is there going to be a way that there's going to be to like keep a count number, or
that is a good question. What I would recommend, if you all will please, not to be a promoter, but if you all will please join our Jedi-CAN Discord.
Facebook group. Oh yeah, the Discord.
something.
Discord.
here I can provide the links right now.
Yeah, because if you can do that, and you can say, my order or my academy, my fill in the blank planted 20 trees as part of whatever. Or, if you have 100 days of discipline and one of your members is working on with forest, then you work with that. But yeah, join our
in the chat, I added the links for the Discord server, the Facebook page, and the Facebook group.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Karina. Let me just say it's going to be great. I am more than excited about what's going to happen this year. I'm feeling really pumped, and I hope you all are as well. So, hello, Posty.
Hey, Jacob. So I will say,
Hey, everybody.
we will be collecting the numbers.
Yeah.
We will be collecting the numbers, but we do need you guys to tell us your numbers. That way we can overall, and then at the end of the year, what we're hoping to say is that we went over 100.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's talk about. I mean, it would be really cool. Her original idea was 1,000. If we met 1,000, we could be like, wow, that actually worked.
Kill it. That would kill it. I mean, like, not in a bad way. That I would be over the moon. I would be over the moon. Yeah, my original idea was 1,000. I always dream big.
Is there gonna be like a time limit when?
No, because you know what? It's a community project. I don't want to put time limits on it. It's gonna be fun. So if we can get to 1,000, great. I do want to be able to.
Yeah. As far as a time limit goes, it's not a time limit, but we do want 100 by the end of the year. So it's a full year resolution.
Full year. Okay. So we have a year for 2023.
That's what we're doing. Planting some trees. And again,
love that.
You all do not have to get out there and get all grimy with the worms. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, where's Sasha at? Where's my guy?
I know. Sasha was telling me about the little bonsais that they're doing, and I was so excited to see or hear about that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not a talker. So let me.
Yeah, me neither, Roz. I get it.
I know. It's perfect.
So for the people that messaged that wanted to get involved to help certify with the certifications, they can message you in some of those groups. Is there a specific one that you want them to reach out in?
No, please. Smoke signals, Facebook.